You know, we've hit that time of year where the holiday season is just upon us. I know that because every time I turn on the TV, there's a Hallmark movie on. But here we are. We are getting ready to welcome back to the nation's capital the Ennis sisters. Of course, I'm talking Maureen, I'm talking Karen, I'm talking Teresa. Hello to the three of you. How are you?
Oh, we're so excited to be talking with you today.
I
Yes, it's
am,
been a while. It's been probably this time last year we
a
had
couple
a
of years
we
ago. Yeah,
Couple years now, yeah.
yeah,
ex
but we just started our Christmas tour actually on Sunday. We had two shows in Newfoundland, and then yesterday we traveled to New Brunswick. We're here in Fredericton where we kick off the mainland portion of our tour. We're in the Maritimes for the next week, and it's just such an exciting time of year.
I love it. I love it. Now, I've had the privilege of seeing the show a few times, and what I love is every show is different from the last. So, how much planning goes into it? Because again, we've got the traditional incredible music, we've got the wonderful storytelling, but there seems to be something new and authentic to every single time I've seen the show.
Well, put it this way, it's good that we're sisters because we are together so much. And you need to be together so much in order to plan, and have so much new stuff.
I feel like Christmas never stops. And for me, around June or July, it's usually very hot. It starts to feel like the weather gets warm. That's when I start writing Christmas music.
That triggers
Mhm.
Christmas.
And so then by September, we're rehearsing it and making sure it's the kind of material we want. Sometimes actually, after like this year, we recorded two new Christmas singles, A Christmas Star and A Christmas Time. And we did that with the East Pointers in PEI
In May.
in May. So we're always thinking of this show, and we're always thinking about what are those magical moments that people love to feel during a Christmas show,
And how to create.
and how can we create those beautiful feelings? And so you take us, thinking about last year's Christmas tour, what worked, and then what can we enhance, or what can be,
And sometimes I really find that, we feel, wow, we've done it. We've got the perfect show finally. But then you got to change it because you can't have the same show. So
you have to freshen
it's
it
like,
up.
oh my gosh. So then you're like, well, how can we replace that, which is awesome, with something even more awesome? So we are constantly challenging ourselves to be better, do better. Like Maureen said, create those magical moments.
So this year we have a new recitation, a couple of new stories that Karen tells.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always sisterly banter that changes up every show.
Just
Yeah.
because it's our life.
And then
Now we got to let you know all about it.
Totally.
Yeah, of course.
And we have step dances. Karen and I learned. We were hard at work learning new step dances. Maureen's wrote a few new songs,
Yeah.
and we're always clipping in because I find with the show there's a good balance of the original with the classics, and our twist on the classics, and we do a lot of medleys. So there, I think we've got about 100 different songs.
This song goes into this song really well. This song goes into this song really well.
But the audiences are constantly feeling like they can participate, or they can sing along on the chorus of the original because it has such a catchy chorus, or and then there's those tender moments. We always pay tribute to the people that we've lost, or that like with Tiny Trinkets, it's remembering those who aren't with us anymore. So, there are some of those sentimental moments, but for the most part, we try to keep this very uplifting, very fun and enjoyable.
And try to keep it to what the true meaning of Christmas is as much as we can. And it's about togetherness and family and
music
and all the experiences that we have together, instead of like just this stress of commercialism and trying to measure how much you love somebody by what you buy.
Mhm.
And for us, it's like, tonight, why don't you just forget about all the worries in the world, and for the next 2 hours, we're going to entertain you.
Absolutely. And we also try and keep it fresh with our merch. Maureen is wearing the new Christmas t-shirt.
Just by coincidence. I'm not.
Here's a new Christmas t-shirt. We have new ornaments. We have all kinds of new merch for people to check out. But yeah, it's just a really fun time for us. We're together leading up to this, we're together every day for 2 or 3 months.
But now we're elves. It's a different kind of
We're
sisterhood.
spreading the Christmas cheer.
And that's a good point. It's like I feel the lead into preparing, because we do a lot of the work. We are self-managed. A lot of the work falls on us. So there's a lot to do on top of the rehearsals. So I feel when we finally get out on the road,
This is when we get a break.
Yeah, now we get to
Not
do the
the
fun. This is when the fun starts for us, and get the absolute joy that we get from being able to go on stage and perform every night. It's the biggest gift we could ever receive.
Yeah.
And so we just want to bring our audiences in on the ride with us and just share our joy with them. And it is very East Coast Newfoundland. We talk a lot about Newfoundland in our shows and the experiences that we have in Newfoundland, but it's also a broad appeal. Anyone can relate to the messages that we are singing and talking about. So it's our favorite thing that we do is the Christmas show.
I also love the mood of the audience. Everyone's in such an exciting, anticipating Christmas spirit, and it's one of the nicest audiences to play for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So many things I need to touch on. First of all, let's start where we ended. The audience is in such a great mood because you're performing in front of them, and it's because we feed off of your infectious spirit. So let's establish that right off the bat. There is no other show like yours, and I hope as many people as possible get an opportunity to on your tour to come out and see it, because it really kickstarts the holidays for me. As I mentioned, last weekend turned on the television, all these Hallmark movies and what have you. It takes something like your show to really put me into the spirit because it's authentic and it's genuine. And I kind of feel like this is what it would be like to be hanging out with the Ennis sisters or be a fly on the wall at a family get together, because it just
It's pretty real, yeah.
right,
So yeah, part of what we do. I mean, even like we keep saying, even if we weren't doing this as a career, we would be doing this
somehow.
Somehow. It's just us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you mentioned in terms of, okay, we're together, leading up to the tour and all that. But in all honesty, what is the longest the three of you have ever gone without speaking to each other? Like, has it reached 2 days?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think during the COVID time, that was
couldn't
very
see
rare
each other
to not be able to get
physically,
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're in constant touch. That's
And I mean,
there's texts coming in.
FaceTime.
Constantly.
I'm on FaceTime right now. Where are you?
sometimes in the morning I'll wake up and I'll be like 89 missed messages.
Conversation that you didn't step through.
Yeah. I
But
love
there's
that.
so much to do. Like, there's not even like a pair of boots or a coat that I'd buy without running it by Karen and Teresa. We are just,
We always
it's just
joke.
what we do.
We joke and say it's us first and then our husbands.
Sisters.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
They know it.
They know it.
Yeah, they know what they signed up for. How could they not?
Yeah.
I'm not married to any of you, but I'd expect it. Okay, so in regards to the show, you talked about like keeping things fresh and things of that nature. Where do you three take your inspiration from a performing standpoint? I mean, obviously you're very musically gifted. You've been making great songs for years. And it's incredible because none of you age, which so congratulations on that. But performing live is such a different beast, I find, in terms of you can hear something on the radio or on a platform, but then when you see the performers live, it doesn't always click. And I find with the three of you, your performance is actually better live because there's the personality that comes with it, and it's just, as I mentioned, so infectious and just so contagious, and you want to be in that room. So where do you three take that inspiration from?
Well, I think, growing up with music and having it part of your, like on a cellular level, it's part of us. I think that helps. And when we get out on stage and we get to sing together and just being able to do this for a living, make music together and travel together and see the world together. And, there's something so special about that. And it takes a question like this to kind of think about it and appreciate.
I feel like for me, watching people like the Rankin family, the Barrett McNeils, Nellie McMaster, and the entire family, the chorus, there's the Wilson Phillips, all of these female singers, especially with harmonies, we were just enthralled with. I couldn't get enough of watching what they were doing, and the banter was intriguing.
Yeah.
And like, what do they do when they don't hang out anymore? And are they best friends? And it was so much of that, the same kind of questions that you're asking that I guess people are curious about with us. But in the performance level, I remember, in the very beginning performing, and you're so nervous and you just start playing a song. And then I remember Natalie was on the same bill, and I saw her energy level and felt, well, there's where she is, and this is where we are. So I remember thinking there's a certain amount of reaching your space before when you're performing. You have the vibe, and then there's a vibe from the audience that you're both feeding off of. And
Hmm.
but the inspiration came from that family connection with a lot of sister bands, family bands, watching that, and we studied it.
Yeah.
And now it's just a natural thing for the three of us because we've learned how to relax into our own personalities
true.
and our own art, which took a little time to kind of have the courage even to be like, this is my song, and I'm okay if you don't like it. And I'm okay if it's,
And I
that took some time to.
And I think ultimately too, you touched on it, is like when we're on stage, we're not putting on, it's authentic. And I
Yeah.
think that's who we are. We like to have fun with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's a little embellished in parts, but it is
I'm hoping on
authentically.
your side it is.
And we were blessed to have a mother and father who were so supportive of what we did, and they were managed us earlier in our careers. And I remember our dad always saying, if they're paying at the time $20 for the show, you give them $100 show.
Yeah.
So what we have realized over the years is not just about singing, it's about entertaining. It's about bringing things that keep the audience engaged and connected with what you're doing. And this is almost 3 decades we've been doing it. So,
And we're still learning.
and
You're
Yeah.
still,
but ultimately we want to connect with the audience. And when they leave there, we want them to feel like they were just a part of something special.
and we're ready for Christmas.
Together,
That's the
yeah.
whole job. The job is let's get ready for Christmas together. Get in the spirit,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just something wonderful in terms of when you look at I can only speak to the audiences in Ottawa, but I'm sure it's the same across your tour. You've got such a range in terms of ages, demographics. There's no, it doesn't just appeal to one particular group of people. It appeals to anybody, right? And
Yeah.
everybody feels the warmth and the love when they come and they see your show. And there's just something I remember leaving the theater at one of them, and then of course it starts snowing. It was as if it's just so perfectly timed. But no, I think anybody who has an opportunity to see the show, it's going to be incredible. And again, it's one of those things where we look at the calendar and it's like you hope they're coming because you guys are a big deal. So sometimes Ottawa might not make it on the list, but I'm thrilled that we are this year.
Oh, yeah, I
gosh,
love
yeah.
Ottawa.
We
Yeah, we
love
do.
playing in
And I remember when we first started this Christmas tour about 18 years ago, it was in Newfoundland, and it was mostly, say, grandmothers coming out to the show. But
Mhm.
then as the next year, they would bring their daughters and then they would bring their daughters. And it really grew into something that's very family. And we are so proud that we were able to do that because we are performing for family.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
'Cause that's our vibe. It's
Who we are.
who we are.
Yeah.
And we're so glad that the younger generation are coming up, and
Hopefully being inspired by what we're doing.
and we always hear that, my little girl loves you, and she sings all your music,
Or
and
she's learning how to play
Yeah.
guitar or tin whistle or step dance.
and
there's
we're
also something-
passing on that
Yeah.
to the next generation too, right?
There's also something kind of interesting about the actual Christmas traditions in Newfoundland that are very
Mhm.
unique that we talk about in our show that people just are very again curious about. Like, is that really what you do? The big jigs dinner and and the different little traditions that we have that are different from anywhere else.
Yeah.
And so all of that's touched on in the show.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's interesting too, right? Because you think to yourself that there's two pieces, I guess, of pop culture that really promote your province, which of course, first of all, is the three of you, and then second of all, is Come From Away. So
Yeah.
you look left and you look right, and you think to yourself, is everybody there really that friendly? And it's one of even I'm born and raised here in Ottawa, but it's one of two provinces that I haven't gotten to, and I want to go,
Oh,
but
yeah. Oh.
but again. Just not to put anybody on the spot here. I kind of feel if I do come, I have to make a phone call, and the three of you have to be like a tour guides for at least a
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think you have to when you're there, you got to speak to the royal family, right? So
Well, speaking of that, we do have a bus tour that we're launching, that we have launched, that we're doing in June of
oh
2026.
Let's hear more
So
about that.
if you're
Way.
interested,
That's a way to
and the
see.
three of us are hosting it, and
It's
it's a
and it's
musical bus tour, so there's lots of music, and we
yeah, and it's in the place where we're from.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the Southern Shore on the Avalon Peninsula. And so we'll take you to all the places
the
that we
hotspot.
love, like Ennis Road. We'll show you that, all these really cool little places and our food and
there's going to be a special night. It's going to be called Christmas on Ennis Road in June.
honestly,
But it will be like showing the traditions of the mummering and what
The
the
Jake's
food that we
dinner.
eat.
Yeah.
and you
and
can actually experience it
so
for
we're
yourself.
really, really excited about this. And I don't know that anybody has ever done something like this in Newfoundland before, as far as like the music with with that experience.
Yeah,
with
musicians, you mean? Yeah.
yeah. So we're super excited about it, and
yeah,
come
hop
on the bus.
I
Get on
love that. I love that. Now I'm looking at your tour. I see that you're ending in Newfoundland, and you've got several shows at the Holy Heart Theater. Do you have do you find it difficult performing in Newfoundland because you've got all of the relatives, all of the friends that are
Oh,
coming out, so you
Oh,
literally need to fill the theater
it is
multiple
the
times?
most nerve-wracking. I
Yeah.
think it's
It
I
is.
lose sleep over it. It's
Really?
yeah, it's the one you stand on that stage, and we've been doing it.
And you feel so judged.
No, but it's like one of these things where
Oh.
you know everybody. And I often said, it's like one of those things. I'm the most nervous when I
Yeah.
can see people and I know who they are, because there's an added sort of, I really want you to have a good time. And
Yeah.
we have that anyway, but in Newfoundland, like when you look out and you see, oh my God, there's mom and there's all of our family
Cousins.
and there's our cousins, and every year it never gets less. But at the same time, I will say,
Take comfort in it.
I get nervous when I go on stage.
Anyway, yeah,
Because
yes.
I got myself ramped up that this is going to be a great show.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great night.
Yeah.
So I take none of it for granted.
Yeah.
No.
But you are right that St. John's definitely has that
Added
pressure.
I love you talking about being nervous for a couple of reasons, because it's like, oh, you are human, but also I sincerely believe, as many times as you've done it, the fact that there's nerves shows that there's still an investment. It shows that you still
Oh my God, this is
right?
it.
And
You don't take it for
Oh my
granted.
God, especially the first few shows when you don't know how everything's going to go over.
yeah.
I find that to be very, very nerve-wracking. And then the nerves kind of, and it depends on the night, it depends on just how you're feeling, but there's always nerves for sure.
Yeah.
When you're on this tour, do you ever have an opportunity to do any sightseeing or get to visit the cities that you're in, or is it pretty much just like, check in, sound check, just kind of going through that, or do you get some downtime?
No.
There's not a whole lot of downtime, but we do try to, when possible, we
Like
may.
on a tour like this, where it's a show every day except for travel days, it's really hard to.
You're resting as much as possible.
But
really.
like when you have a tour like, in the spring or fall where you have a few days off, maybe then we will try and hit up a few hot
Oh
spots.
my God, definitely.
But it is still a beautiful way to see the country. I mean, you're driving,
Yeah.
you still get to see.
You get like people writing into our social media, and our mother loves it, by the way. She loves seeing this. I saw you did a really good show last night on the comments. Yeah.
Today's our mother's
But through
80th.
that though, you'll see
Oh.
in about the beautiful things about the place where we are at the time, and that's kind of a really cool thing. So we'll try to, like, if there's a restaurant or make sure you check this place out before you leave. We usually try to do that before we go, and it's usually through a comment on our post.
Nice. I think you said today's your mom's birthday.
Her
Yeah,
80th.
she's 80 today.
Well, happy birthday to her, and and please thank her for the gift of the three of you. I appreciate the work that she does. So
She'll be watching this
She'll be watching this.
yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled that you're all coming. I see the tour ends on the 21st, so that'll give you enough time to recuperate and hopefully be upright by the time the 25th
Before Christmas. That's right.
rolls around. Final word to you as we wrap up. Of course, coming here December the 9th, Meridian Theater at Centerpoint Theater. Would you like to send a final message to all of the incredible Ennis Sisters fans here in the nation's capital?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, we cannot wait to see you. We can't wait to sing songs with you and tell you our news stories and what we've done since we've seen you last.
Yeah.
There's lots of things, very exciting things, and we're going to all get into the Christmas spirit together.
Excellent. Well, listen, again, you can't see the show, enough. I would go and see it every single year if I had the opportunity to. I sincerely mean it. I love it. It doesn't, it's to say it puts a smile on my face doesn't do it justice. It warms my heart with love, and I think it's something that everybody needs. Especially this time of year, and I think that the three of you were a gift, and I appreciate you coming to Ottawa to share that gift with us. So really looking forward to this show.
You're
Us
so
too.
sweet.
You're
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
taking time to chat with us and you know, rehash some old memories and
Yeah.
It's so good today. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for including me in your day, and I look forward to seeing it. And again, I will post the link for where people can get tickets, and it's going to be an incredible show. And if there's one show you see this holiday season, it has to be this one. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.